Assembling the MCU fans, welcome. JT, producer Tim is with me. He's working hard on the Incredible Hulk video. That'll be out soon, but we wanted to pop in, do a Deadpool and Wolverine cameo tier ranker. Spoiler alert, please. I'm sure anyone watching this has probably seen the movie. If you haven't, all the cameos are going to be spoiled. We're going to rank them. We're going to try and do this in under 10 minutes. We have, 36 of these, Tim?
Yeah, and I think some of them are going to be a little bit easier than the others. I think all the easy ones, all the ones that stand out, are definitely going to be more towards the top. And those that we have absolutely no clue about, they'll trickle to the bottom. So please, this is the time to lambaste us in the comments. Let us know what we got right and wrong as we go along. But this perfect love letter from the Fox version of Marvel. This was an excellent movie to kickstart everything back for the next phase of the MCU. Maybe he was Marvel Jesus. Who knows about Deadpool?
Or at least Marvel John the Baptist. All right, so Tim's gonna drive. We're gonna go gut reaction, try and get through all these real quick, Tim. All right, what do we got?
Okay, so first up on the list is X-23.
S.
Yeah, I think that she was a big vehicle in the movie.
Yeah.
Not to give too much away, but absolutely fantastic. Glad to see that they got the original X-23 back too.
Yeah, that was awesome. She was great.
That was super cool. Next up is a guy who people are now clamoring to be Blade again.
Yes.
Blade.
S. I think it's S. Wesley Snipes was awesome in the movie.
Yeah, poor Marshall Ali didn't even get a chance to be Blade, and Wesley Snipes just comes back and snatches the character like only he can.
Yeah, he was great. And by the way, we're doing 6 in every tier, and then we may whittle down to like 1 or 2 S and 1 or 2 Fs at the end, but we'll see.
Right. Next up, Jennifer Gardner back as Elektra.
Gut says A. I thought she was really great, but I want to leave some S spots, but she's borderline right now for me. She was really, really good.
She was, and I was more impressed with her as Elektra in this movie than I was in like the original Daredevil.
Yeah, it was self perspective. The line about Ben Affleck, who cares that he's dead or whatever, was funny.
Right, for sure.
So it was good.
Next up, this one, I don't know if I can be unbiased on this one.
Yes.
Remy LeBeau, Gambit, played
We're going
by
over
Channing
10 minutes,
Tatum.
by the way. That's already out the window.
If there was something higher than S, this would be it.
Yeah, we put him number 1. You want him number 1?
Oh yeah, without question. He destroyed every scene he was in. I'm so glad he got to play Gambit.
He's gonna move it, or a Disney Plus show. Something's coming. They're gonna have to.
It has to at this point, right? Like he did so well.
And shout out to the Exposition podcast over the North South Connection. The crew there are going through X-Men the new X-Men show, right?
X-Men 97.
Yeah. So, but it's a great history. Like I'm not as well versed in X-Men and some of the older stuff. So I only knew Gambit because I listened to the episode that covered him of Exposition. I happened to listen to it before I went, so I knew right away when it came out. But it's a great podcast for comics fans. Check it out, Exposition
for sure. And you should definitely go back and you should watch X-Men 97 too.
I gotta watch.
Don't let it be a comic or a cartoon to sway you.
No, I won't. No, I like cartoons. I gotta watch the original X-Men movies too.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
my new goal is under 20 for this, Tim. Under 20.
Oh, we'll get there because we're gonna swim through some of these. Lady Deathstrike, from the one of the original X-Men Logan villains.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just my memory. I don't remember her being in this movie.
I don't know what she did.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it like a gentleman's like C.
She was yeah, I guess she just fights Wolverine. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what the hell she was doing. I say D. I think we're gonna need room.
Sure.
All right.
D. Lady Deadpool. This is pretty awesome.
It was, and I'm torn because like the hype was there, like you know, all the rumors that it was gonna be Blake Lively, and it was, so that's cool. I just don't think she does a lot in the movie. She kind of has that one scene. You don't really know it's her. You only know it's her if you read the rumor.
Right.
This feels like a top C for now, maybe into a B.
Yeah. Well, she does lead like the Deadpool Corps to a certain degree. Some would say that the leader of the Deadpool Corps is a little bit later in our tier list.
Yes.
But for me, it's Lady Deadpool.
Yeah.
Next up is Cowboy Deadpool, as portrayed by apparently Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, of course.
Um, okay, Ryan Reynolds just flexing his muscles whenever he can. I thought that he looked cool, but he's a C.
It feels like a C. Yeah.
Yeah. Next up is a villain who I'm big and fond of from the original X-Men series, Toad. Um, Toad's really cool, man. Doesn't really do much in this movie though,
Right.
so I'm gonna give him like a C because
Yeah, and it was so
I
much.
at least,
It's like, where
yeah,
do you put a lot of these people in the movie? Because they got so much going on. Like, they want to fan service these cameos, but
right, right, and he does more than Lady Deathstrike to me, but
yeah.
not more than like Lady Deadpool and Cowboy.
No, and if as a tiebreaker, we can kind of use the like, you know, if you think of the movie, what do you remember, kind of thing, right? Like, you remember Lady Deadpool, like, top of this group here.
Right. Next up is Sabretooth, and this is going to be a hot take.
Mm.
But this is F to me.
F.
How to put Sabretooth in a movie with Wolverine and not have like an epic Sabretooth Wolverine fight is
And he
beyond
dies
me.
pretty quick.
Yes. And it's like, no, like they are like Peter Griffin and the chicken. It's always on site with them.
Right.
They have to do something.
Okay. All right.
Um,
I thought it was. I liked seeing him. I thought it was cool, but I get your
yeah,
take on it from that
right.
approach, is that it was way underutilized. So
Correct. It's like if you're not going to at least give me some action, like at least suspenseful action between
right.
those two, it's worthless. Next up is the bait and switch of all bait and switches.
S tier.
Johnny Storm as Human Torch, who everyone thought was going to be Captain America, including Deadpool. And so I thought it was great. I love Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, especially that swole Johnny Storm
Yeah.
now. So A tier is absolutely great
I
for
put
me.
S. I went S.
Oh, S tier too, yeah.
I have him second. I think I even have him above
Yeah,
X-23.
I
Because
think that's right.
even for the end where they do the cutscene of him
Yeah,
actually saying all the stuff that Deadpool said that he denied, and he cut that. The
right.
promo was great.
Yes.
So no, he was really good, and just the tease. I don't know. We'll talk after, but I feel like he could be number one just because of the swerve, the tease, and
Right.
how he performed on the screen. So
Of an actual cameo, I would say he's an S. He's like number one, but this I wouldn't call Gambit a cameo. Gambit was
right,
absolutely like
yeah,
a
he was
full
more of a character. Yeah,
Yeah. Next up is another cameo, the Cavalrine. If you're following along, there was talks about Henry Cavill being Wolverine before
Mhm.
Hugh Jackman comes back. And I love the tongue-in-cheek conversation about how we'll treat you better than the guys across the street because he was famously let go from Superman.
Yep.
I'm gonna give this a B. I
Yeah,
think
it was
that's
good.
about I
It was
think it's
good.
the highest you can give like a full cameo
Yeah, and I
for
mean, he looked
this
great.
movie.
Like, it was a nice tip of the cap, and hopefully this is like his soft launch into some sort of MCU role, because he's too good not to be part of one
Right.
of these. I mean, he was great as Superman. I get that, they wanted to do a full kind of reboot of that whole universe, so fine, but like, he owned that role. He's great in other stuff too. So yeah, he's someone that has to be involved somewhere.
For sure. Next up, Pyro. I love Pyro. That's the end of the seas for me. There
Yeah.
is a cool Pyro scene where he's fighting fire with Human Torch,
Yep.
which is more than Sabretooth can say. But
And he's kind of a big
next,
character in the movie, right? Like,
oh, for
he's
sure. Like
yeah.
he's one of the right hand men in like the wasteland.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
for Cassandra Nova. So, very very cool. Next up, Dogpool. And it's hard for me not to say S tier.
It's gonna be A. I think it's A.
It's high A. I think it's above Elektra.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
Um,
is a big part. Like, he's in a lot of scenes, and it's a great little
yes,
side story to everything going on. Deadpool's obsession with him.
of course. Next up is Nice Pool. Does
I feel
play
like,
an integral part near the end of the movie.
yeah,
But more so as a prop than anything else.
I'm kind
But
of looking at who's left though, and I feel like bottom of the S maybe.
maybe bottom of the S, maybe in between Dogpool and Elektra.
Let's put him here for now because I
Yeah,
think
that's
he's
fine.
again like when you see a lot of the kind of videos and memes, like he's all over it.
Right.
He had a good chemistry with himself,
Right, for
going back
sure.
and forth with the real Deadpool. So I think to me the S tier are like the top characters you come out of this movie like thinking of and talking about still. And I think
Right.
he's in that group. And I don't
For
see two
sure.
more above him. I think it's more likely that Dogpool goes up at this
Right.
point.
Yeah.
But I'm
And
fine. We can
even
do that
then,
now. Let's put him as the last
the
S. So we have
bookend.
our six S's. We'll see if any others slip in here.
Cool. Next up is Happy Hogan. I was
Yes.
very happy to see him, no pun intended. I think he's either A or B.
I think back at A.
Yeah, back at A is perfect.
He's good. And
Um,
he's only in one scene, but he's really funny in the scene
and
where
it's
he's kind
kind
of
of
letting Deadpool
integral,
down.
right? It kind
Yeah.
of sets the stage for what
Yeah.
actually Deadpool wants.
Yeah.
Um, Next up is
Actually, does
Hunter
he
B.
come back at the end
Good.
too? He may be in a couple scenes, right? Is he at the end? Does he revisit? They kind of jump. The time jumps are all over the fucking
The
place, so it's
time
hard to
jumps
tell.
are crazy.
Yeah.
But I mainly think of the meeting in Happy's office
Yeah. Yeah.
with Deadpool. Next up is Hunter B-15 from the
Mhm.
TVA. Love this character. I want more TVA stuff, even though
Yeah.
low key is done and dusted, just so to say. But the TVA will remain, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
They're pretty set into the universe now. And
yeah,
look,
I'm gonna
is
go
awesome.
B. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
B for
I'm good
B-15.
with a B. I think above Cavill, she does
Yeah,
more.
yeah, above the cavalry. Next up, we're probably gonna run through a lot of these because a lot of these they are very
Yeah.
short cameos. But Eric Bana's Hulk. I don't even remember Hulk being in the movie.
I read and it
Um,
said there's some you see them fighting. You see Wolverine and Deadpool fighting him. Like I don't know when
right.
that is.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, I'm gonna go D. Same with Lady Deathstrike. Like I don't recall them being in the movie. But again, this is where the comment section comes in. Like, let us know
yeah.
if we got this wrong.
Yeah, where
Um,
is this at? Like it just says it says you can be seen fighting Wolverine and smacking Deadpool. So I don't know if it's in like some throwback clip or something random,
right.
but
I don't even know.
so D with Deathstrike, you think
Yeah, D
above?
with Lady Deathstrike.
Right.
Next up is the Juggernaut. Juggernaut plays an important part in the movie.
Yeah.
So that leans me towards C.
I would say maybe B. I think we gotta fill some of these
Maybe
tiers,
B.
and he's
Yeah.
pretty at least as like part of the story where they get the helmet off and they stick it on
Right.
Cassandra to make her hear her own shit. And
Right.
I'd probably put him above Cavill even, I think.
That works. Baby Deadpool and Kid Deadpool, we can kind of keep them together.
D.
Um, D, fun Deadpool variants.
Yeah, and you get the whole tie-in that it's his kid, his kid or whatever.
Right.
But
Next up is Psylocke. Very glad to see Psylocke back, even though that she never really got her just due in the X-Men movies. Um, I don't think she got her just due in this movie
mm,
either. Um, so much so that I don't recall seeing her in the movie. So I'm down for
D.
D or F. Yeah,
I'll put her at the top of D for now.
sure.
Well, maybe I don't know. I feel like Hulk and Deathstrike at the bottom, something like that. Maybe like makes
Yeah.
more sense. Okay.
Next up is Short King Wolverine.
He was good.
I did like Short King Wolverine, the comic book accurate Wolverine, as some would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down between B and A for
Yeah,
sure.
I think him and Cavill are similar. So wherever they end up, they're both kind of they get that one little joke in that scene of him trying to find the Wolverines.
Right,
But yeah, Short King Wolverine was pretty funny.
for sure. Next up is the Russian, played by Kevin Nash.
Who knew?
This is the only time I'm ever gonna say this about Kevin Nash. F tier. Um, he was F tier in The Punisher, and he's F tier in this.
Yeah, I don't remember even seeing him honestly.
Exactly. Next up is Weapon Omega Wolverine. Um, Also Uncanny Forces Wolverine, however you want to call it. I don't recall seeing this. This is probably one of the flashbacks from all the Wolverines.
Right. All right. Let's just stick
So
these in the F for now.
yeah.
And then we'll see what we want to do with them.
Aolith.
A.
That's A tier villain,
Yeah.
like the biggest of the big bad. Like I'm here for that.
Yep.
Next up is Azael. Don't recall seeing Azale. I think it was probably like a passing in the wasteland.
So it feels like a D with these other ones that are
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah. I think
Yep.
Hulk's coming down here. I think
Yep.
I think F. We're gonna have kind of the like when were they in, and then the last
Yeah.
two, which were like
I
aggravating.
think it. I think it actually might be easier to start going backwards now.
I know.
With a couple of these, because like the last one is Old Man Logan,
Right.
and that skull or that skeleton is A tier, like big part of the beginning of the movie.
Hmm.
So maybe one of the best scenes in the entire film.
Right.
Um,
All right. Let's do that. This
yep.
other one
Next
we had said
one.
we don't really even know, right?
Yeah, I think this is like it's a member of the Deadpool Corps. If you know who this is, Deadpool with a bunch of guns, which is saying something because Deadpool has a bunch of guns already. So tough to say. Going backwards still, Ronan Pool, a member of the Deadpool Corps. I don't remember seeing Ronan Pool at all with
Yeah.
the run-in,
Yeah. I
but
think these are all at the
looks
bottom.
cool as looks cool. Next up is Peter.
All right. So the dog's coming down.
Dog will
Peter's
come
gonna go to
down.
A. Peter's gonna
Yeah,
go to A.
Peter's going to A. Every universe has a Peter. Gotta love him. Uh,
Above Blade, you think?
I think above Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Below X-23.
Yep. Next one is Zenpool. Don't recall seeing Zenpool at all, but looks cool. So,
1, 2, 3, 4. All right. We got some shuffling. All right, let's just stick. We're gonna stick all these in the bottom for now.
and if it's unbalanced at the bottom, like I know that like nice.
Well, I
and
think what we
easy.
can do is maybe move everything up.
Patch. So Patch to me goes up because Patch actually has like a place.
Right.
Like I remember seeing Patch because Patch is one that Deadpool goes to.
Right.
He's at he's at the
Okay.
bar.
So maybe up
D,
here.
yeah, absolutely D. Headpool up.
C.
Yeah, Headpool is
With
B or
lady
C.
and a cowboy.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have original Wolverine.
Yep.
I'm cool with B for him. And then what we have left is Callisto and Uncanny
Lucha Dragons.
Yeah, the Lucha Dragons, more like Lucha Booty. I don't remember where she is in the movie. I think she's also in like the Wasteland with a bunch of the others. But Crucified X Wolverine, yeah, that's like a B or C.
Yeah. So this is all right.
I think
So
that's
I think
as good as we're gonna get without having to pull somebody who's lesser than up.
right. So I
Like
think
maybe, yeah,
I think we move.
B15 up to the end of the A.
Yep, I'm good with
Move
that.
Lady Deadpool
And
and
McConaughey.
I would even switch Headpool and McConaughey.
Okay, that's good.
Yep, and then McConaughey goes there, and then you move Patch and Psylocke up, and then you move Banna, and that's perfect.
Yeah, I think that looks good. How do you feel about the top 6 in order? Gambit.
I'm cool with that.
All right.
And sorry, Jennifer Gardner, one of the main cameos.
I know.
There.
I think just being top 10 is pretty good for her. I mean, that's pretty good. I think it's a good. I don't think you would have guessed that coming in. That Jennifer Gardner's lecture would be a top 10. Now, if we had to really quick with our last minute, like say like okay, all these kind of like move these Deadpools up. The middle, this other row is kind of like we don't remember you. Right. Maybe he goes up here to A. I think Pyro deserves to be up in the B because he actually was part of this thing. And then maybe move like the real people up one. And then like this becomes we don't even remember seeing them.
Right.
And then real quick, like if you had to bump these out of S tier, we put nice pull down one.
I would put nice pull down.
And then yeah. And then Blade down. Like I'm just trying to really whittle down. I think those are your top 4 goats of this movie, besides Deadpool and Wolverine. It's Gambit, Johnny Blaze, X-23, Peter.
Yep, and Peter.
All right, subscribe. Assembling the MCU, TikTok, YouTube. We're keeping this under 20. Thank you to producer Tim, doing all great work behind the scenes. Let us know any other topics you want us to do tier ranking lists so that we know what we missed, and share this with your Marvel-loving friends. I'm on the journey. I'm new. I'm loving it. Ride with me. Talk to you later.